Horst Ross has been fishing in the Mekong River for more than 20 years, just like his father did before him.
There used to be a lot more fish. We only had to cast our nets and they'd be full. We used to catch about 70 to 80 kilos each time, but now there's hardly anything.
He says fish used to be abundant, even in the dry season, but not since the last couple of years. He's also noticed more extreme fluctuations in water levels. There are 11 dams in the upper reaches of the Mekong River in China. Environmental advocates say these have had an impact on the river and the life in it.
70% of the Mekong fish are long-distance migratory species, meaning that they migrate from here, from Tonle Sap, and downstream in Vietnam, all the way up to northern part of Thailand. So they depend largely on the seasonal water level of the Mekong River that's driven by the drought and flood cycle.
In early January, China issued a statement to say it's testing equipment in one of its dams, increasing outflow by more than half. The Mekong River Commission, an intergovernmental organization, warned countries in the lower reaches of the river, including Cambodia, to expect lower water levels this week. This season's drought has caused the water level in the Mekong to fall to its lowest in 60 years, and there's been an exceptionally low flow of water in most parts of the river basin for 6 months. Further from the Mekong is another village, one that relies mostly on rice farming. Here people rely on water stored in ponds during the dry season, but even these have dried up.
When there's no water, there's lots of problems. We have to spend a lot of money to drill a well and buy equipment. If a small pump isn't good enough, we have to get a bigger one. I've already spent double of what I normally would.
The Mekong River Commission and China have said they'll conduct a study to identify the causes and impacts of this season's drought. But with more dams being planned for the Mekong, it's communities who rely on the river who continue to pay the price. Florence, Looi, Al Jazeera, Kampong Cham Province, Cambodia.